Writing. Have you ever watched someone fight the hardest battle of their life without saying a single word? Sometimes the greatest acts of courage don't happen on a battlefield. They happen in a hospital room where a mother holds on through unbearable pain just to hear the first cry of her baby. What looks like an ordinary day can become a life-changing moment that reminds everyone watching what true love really means. This is the story of one difficult birth, one unforgettable mother, and the kindness that surrounded her when she needed it most. By the end of this story, you may never look at mothers the same way again. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartfelt stories that restore faith in humanity, please subscribe to Kindness Waves, like this video, and leave a comment telling us about a kind person who has inspired you. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world that kindness still exists. Emma was 30 years old when she learned she was expecting her first child. She and her husband, Daniel, had dreamed about becoming parents for years. Every doctor's appointment filled them with excitement. They painted the baby's room, folded tiny clothes, and imagined the day they would finally hold their little girl. Emma's pregnancy wasn't easy. She dealt with morning sickness for months and often felt exhausted. Still, she smiled through every challenge. She believed every difficult moment would be worth it when she finally met her baby. As her due date arrived, Emma began feeling contractions late one rainy evening. Daniel grabbed their hospital bag, and they rushed to the hospital with nervous smiles. Both were excited, but neither knew that the next 24 hours would test every bit of their strength. The labor started normally. Nurses encouraged Emma to breathe slowly while Daniel held her hand. Hours passed, but the baby wasn't moving down the way the doctors expected. Every contraction became stronger than the last. Emma was exhausted, yet she refused to give up. The medical team stayed calm. They encouraged her with gentle voices and reminded her that she was doing an amazing job. One nurse, named Sarah, never left Emma's side. She wiped away her tears, adjusted her pillow, and whispered words of hope whenever Emma felt like quitting. "There is no stronger love than a mother's love," Sarah quietly said. "You're closer than you think." Those simple words gave Emma enough strength to keep trying. Outside the delivery room, Daniel paced the hallway. He wished he could take away his wife's pain. Every few minutes he asked the nurses if Emma was okay. His heart ached, knowing she was suffering while bringing their child into the world. Inside the room, the doctors realized the delivery would be much more difficult than expected. They carefully explained every step to Emma and Daniel. Although everyone was concerned, they stayed focused and positive. Emma closed her eyes and thought about the little heartbeat she had listened to for months. She imagined holding her daughter for the first time. That image became her strength. Another hour passed, then another. Emma felt completely drained. Her body trembled from exhaustion. She whispered that she didn't think she could continue. Sarah gently held Emma's hand. "You are stronger than you know," she said. "Your baby already has the bravest mom in the world." Those words brought tears to everyone's eyes. Daniel leaned close to Emma and softly said, "No matter what happens today, I will always be proud of you." For a moment, the fear disappeared. Emma found the courage to push one more time. Then it happened. The room suddenly filled with the beautiful sound every parent longs to hear. A newborn baby's first cry. Little Lily had arrived. The entire room seemed to breathe again. Doctors smiled. Nurses quietly celebrated. Daniel burst into tears as he looked at his daughter for the very first time. When the nurse gently placed Lily on Emma's chest, the pain of the long labor faded beneath overwhelming love. Emma wrapped her arms around her tiny baby and whispered, "I've been waiting for you." Lily opened her little eyes for just a second, and Emma smiled through happy tears. In that moment, everyone in the room understood they had witnessed something extraordinary. The kindness didn't end with the delivery. The nurses helped Emma learn how to feed her baby, comforted her when she doubted herself, and celebrated every small success. They treated her with patience, respect, and compassion instead of rushing through their busy day. One hospital volunteer even brought Daniel a warm meal after realizing he hadn't eaten since the night before. It was such a small gesture, but after nearly a full day of worry, It meant everything. Daniel later said he would never forget that simple act of kindness. During the next few days, family and friends visited the hospital. Instead of bringing expensive gifts, many offered something much more valuable. They cooked meals, cleaned the house, watched the family dog, and reminded Emma that she didn't have to do everything alone. Emma realized something important. Kindness isn't always grand or dramatic. Sometimes kindness is holding someone's hand. Sometimes it's speaking gentle words when hope feels lost. Sometimes it's simply showing up. Weeks later, Emma was slowly recovering at home while learning the challenges of caring for a newborn. Sleepless nights became normal. Some days, she cried from exhaustion. Other days, she laughed while watching Lily make funny little faces. One afternoon, Emma found a handwritten card tucked inside one of Lily's baby blankets. It was from Nurse Sarah. The note read, "Never forget how brave you were. Your daughter will grow up learning strength by watching you. Thank you for letting us be part of your beautiful journey." Emma cried again, but this time they were tears of gratitude. She carefully placed the card inside Lily's memory box so her daughter could read it one day. Years passed. Lily grew into a bright, caring little girl who loved helping others. Whenever she saw someone sitting alone at school, she invited them to play. If a neighbor needed help carrying groceries, Lily was always the first to volunteer. One evening, Lily asked her mother, "Why do you always tell me to be kind?" Emma smiled and hugged her daughter. "Because," she answered, "I learned that kindness can carry someone through the hardest day of their life. I wouldn't have made it through your birth without people who chose kindness." Lily quietly nodded. From that day on, she understood that kindness wasn't weakness. It was strength. The strongest people aren't always the loudest. They're the ones who lift others when life becomes heavy. Every mother deserves respect for the incredible sacrifices she makes. Every nurse, doctor, family member, and friend who offers compassion becomes part of a story that lasts forever. A gentle word, a helping hand, or a warm smile can become the light someone remembers during their darkest moment. If this story touched your heart, remember that you don't have to wait for a special occasion to make a difference. Respect your parents. Thank the people who care for others. Encourage someone who feels overwhelmed. Choose patience instead of anger and compassion instead of judgment. Kindness creates ripples that travel farther than we ever imagine. One loving action can inspire another, and another after that, until hope reaches people we may never even meet. Let today's story remind you that every act of kindness matters. Every mother deserves honor, and every heart has the power to make someone else's journey a little easier. Together, let's keep spreading kindness, one small act at a time.